Time once again for HTBL Baseball. This is Big Paulie coming to you. We're about to go to April 21st on the calendar, game number 15 for everybody. And we're going to recap April 20th. The game today will be Colorado and San Francisco, by the way. I've decided on that. Forgot Colorado was in the Midwest Division with St. Louis, Milwaukee, and the Chicago Cubs. And they'll be playing San Francisco. San Francisco, the best team in the majors right now at 10-4 in this sim. We will take the 40 best players from each franchise as it currently sits, and we did a 10-round draft to give everybody kind of equal odds of having a good team. Speaking of equal odds of having a good team, Tampa Bay won again, 11-8 over Cleveland in yesterday's action. They were down 7-2 at one point, but some great work out of the bullpen from Lefty Gomez, who went over 4 innings. Grant Balfour got the win, though he was shaky. He gave up a run in the ninth, and then Tampa Bay came back with 4, thanks to a Gil Hodges home run to break open an 8-8 tie. After the Rays had retied the ninth inning at 8-8, Hodges hit a 3-run bomb. So Balfour 1-1. Doug Jones is 0-2, and Jaso went 2 for 3, 2 homers, 2 RBIs. He was catching in favor of John Flaherty. The White Sox beat their Red Sox brothers 5-1. Pierce 1-1 over Houston 1-1. Barnes went 2 for 3 and a home run. The Tigers over the Yankees 6-3. Kovaleski 1-0. Hoyt took the loss 1-1. Cobb went 2 for 5 and a triple. The Blue Jays over the Orioles 5-2. Dwayne Ward 1-0. Pappas 0-2. AJ Pierzynski 3 for 4 and a double. I think Pierzynski was drafted by Toronto because, well, as I was saying, you're going to see some odd faces in new places with this draft system, giving giving everybody equal footing. Texas over Houston 5-1. Houston, the worst team in the AL right now. In fact, in the majors at 3-11, which is going to please a few people, I know. Kenny Rogers 1-0. Oswalt 0-2. Jennings 1 for 4. A homer, his second, and a walk. Miami over Pittsburgh 7-2. Willis 1-0 over Kramer 0-2. Ott went 4 for 5, a homer, and 3 RBIs. Ott is with Miami. The Phillies at 10-4. They are now tied with the best record in all of baseball with San Francisco. They beat Atlanta 9-2. It was Bunning 1-1 over Avery 0-1. Delahunty 4 for 5, a triple and a double. The Nats blanked the Expos 8-0. It was Lannon over Rogers. They're each 1-1 now. Bartell went 2 for 3, a homer, his second, and 3 RBIs. It was the Mets losing to the Reds 6-2. The Mets are down to 4-10. Tony at 3-0 over Gooden 1-1. Larkin 3 for 4, hitting his 7th home run, which is tied for the HTBL lead. He has also in the game he had 3 ribbies. In the game you saw here on our last episode, it was Seattle over the St. Louis Browns 3-1. Moyer 1-1 over Garver 0-2. Rick Camp picked up his first save. The Angels over the Twins 7-3. Finley 2-0 over Radke 0-1. Maurer went 3 for 4 and a home run. The A's over the Royals 5-1. Whitney at 3-1 over Gubasa 1-1. Cespedes 2 for 4 and a home run. The Dodgers blanked the Cubbies 5-0. Koufax 1-1 over Root 0-2. Green 2 for 4, his 3rd home run and 2 RBIs. The Diamondbacks beat the Brewers 2-1. Mullane 2 for 4 over Gallardo 0-1. Gonzalez 2 for 4 and a double. 2 for 4 and a double. The Cardinals beat the Padres 2-1. Carpenter 1-0 over Jones 0-2. Johnson 2 for 3 and a home run. And finally, the game you're about to see that took place yesterday, this was the second game of the 3-game series. It was San Francisco 7-5 over the Rockies. Gereltz got the win 1-0. Fuentes the loss 0-2. Bonds, Barry Bonds, 2 for 5. I think that's Barry Bonds. 2 for 5, a homer, his 5th, and a stolen base. I wonder if I could check and see if that was Barry Bonds just by clicking on him here. Well, regardless of which, we will fill out that riddle as we go to the play of Game 15, April 21st, here in the HTBL. Ken Boyer still the batting leader right now at 451. Jack Chesborough still the pitching leader in terms of ERA at 0.67. It'll be San Francisco and Colorado going at it here. Once the screen fills up, there we go. This should be a good game because the Giants are 10-4 and the Rockies are 8-6. I will play as Colorado, and my starter will be Old Hoss Radbourn. Not a bad hitter, too. And Young has a 10-game hitting streak, and we'll get to all of this as we move along. Coors Field in
Old Hoss, Radbourn.
Denver, Colorado, 62 degrees, winds of 9 miles an hour out to center field, so you could see a little oomph in anything hit on the fly. To answer the riddle, yeah, it is Bobby Bonds who has 5 home runs. And if Barry has 5, it's just going to make things more interesting. He has 3 so far on the year. So we could go through the San Francisco lineup. It is Bobby Bonds in right field. He leads off. Reese at shortstop, Pee Wee Reese. He bats second. Barry Bonds is at left, hitting third. Willie Mays at center field, hitting fourth. Willie McCovey at first, bats fifth. Jeff Kent is your second baseman, batting sixth. Dick Dietz is the DH. He also catches. He bats seventh. Davenport at third, bats eighth. Haller is your catcher, batting ninth. Defensively for Colorado, Lee is a 5 and a 6 in left. Johnny Frederick an 8 and a 6 at center. Brad Haupt a 5 and a 7 in right. Castilla is a 7 at third. Neffy Perez an 8 at short. Eric Young is a 6 at second base. He has a 10-game hitting streak. And Willen Rosario is a 4 at first. Elston Howard of the Yankees is an 8 and a 5 at the dish. Old Hoss Radbourn is a 3 range at the pitcher spot. Bobby Bonds also has a 10-game hitting streak. And he will get the first pitch here from Radbourn. Hit to center. Frederick coming in with the putout, 1 gone. So a nice day for baseball here in Colorado. Colorado, by the way, you might not know this, the coldest baseball game ever played was in the 90s between the Braves and the Rockies, and they played a game of baseball where the first pitch temperature was something in the neighborhood of 23 degrees. So Green Bay, of course, has the record for having the lowest temperature for a football game at, I think, minus 15 when the Packers and Cowboys played for the 67 NFL title. Denver holds that distinction for baseball. Reese coming in, Pee Wee is 350, 2 homers, 7 RBIs. Bonds, by the way, Bobby Bonds hitting 269. The pitch to Pee Wee, a base hit up the middle. Reese is aboard, and a bit of a threat to steal will keep him honest. And that will slow him down a little bit. Barry Bonds, the all-time home run leader, the all-time single-season home run leader. 176, 3 homers, and 7 RBIs. Radbourn, by the way, at the moment, 364, 1-1 on the year, 29 and 2/3 innings pitched. He has walked 7 up to this moment and has struck out 15. Pitch to Bonds, Barry Bonds, hit to right, Hobb going back, makes the play at the warning track, and Reese is stuck at first. Willie Mays, 190, 3 homers and 5 RBIs. That's hit to left, but Lee coming in to charge, and he makes the putout for the third out.
Gaylord Perry.
Gaylord Perry is the pitcher for San Francisco, and we'll get through the lineups here in a little bit. Perry, by the way, can go 140, Radbourne 145, so stamina should not be a problem for either pitcher. Young leads off. He bats first and plays second base. Perez at short bats second. Smith at DH bats third. Johnny Frederick at center field hits fourth. Lee in left bats fifth. Hopp in right bats sixth. Rosario at first base seventh. Elston Howard is your catcher batting eighth. Vinny Castilla is in the 9 hole. He plays third base. Pitching wise, Gaylord Perry, 487 on the year, 20 and a third innings pitched. He's surrendered 20 hits, 4 home runs, 5 walks, and has struck out 10. So Eric Young will have the honor of getting be the first man to face Perry. Here's the pitch to him. They were playing corners in for a bunt, but Young says, "Well, if you're going to show me your hand, I'm just going to have to come up with another plan." A grounder to Perry over the first, 1 out. Perez up. Nefi Perez hitting .263, no homers and a ribby. He strikes out. K number 1 for Gaylord. His whip a little above what it should be at 1190, and his opponent's batting average 247. He's playing against the best of all time, so I think there's going to be some statistical inconsistency here. We go now to Seth Smith, 292 on the year, no homers and 7 runs batted in. Hit to center, Mays charging, makes the play, and it's a great one. And the side retired for Colorado in their first. We have played an inning, no score. Willie McCovey, stretch, 229, 4 homers, 7 RBIs so far on the year. Radbourne needed 15 pitches to get out of the first inning. Let's see what he can do in the second. Grounder to third, Castilla. Out is the call as he threw it to Rosario in time for the first out. That brings up Jeff Kent. Jeff Kent on the year, 276, 3 homers and 11 ribbies. And a great play by Castilla easily gets Kent out at first base. Kent usually hit behind Barry Bonds and the Giants teams of the early 2000s and maybe late 90s. Dick Dietz, 250, a homer and 5 ribbies. He can hit. Grounder to third, and Castilla with another great play over to Rosario, and I think every out in that half inning was 5-3. Inning and a half gone by, we are at no score still. Johnny Frederick up for the Rockies, 322, 2 homers and 14 RBIs. Hit well, but right to Jeff Kent for the first out. 4 in a row down already for the Rockies. Carlos Lee, 268 on the year, a homer and 12 ribbies. There he is only at 15 pitches through 4 outs. And that's a base hit. That's not a base hit. McCovey scoops it up, runs to first base unassisted for the second out. Seeing something that wasn't actually happening here. Brad Haupt is 350, a homer and 3 RBIs. That's hit to second base over the first, and it's a 4-3 ground out. So 6 up and 6 down for Colorado so far in this game. We go to top of inning number 3 with no score. Jim Davenport, your new hitter. It's 8-9-1 for the Giants in the third. Davenport, 325 on the year, a homer and 5 ribbies. Hit to center. Frederick going back a bit, but he makes the put out at the warning track for the first out. Tom Haller is your new hitter, 204, 3 homers, 11 RBIs. That's hit to left, but Lee is charging. No threat for this to be a home run, and that's the second out. We go back to the top of the order, and Bobby Bonds. I forgot to give you his stats of the season in his first at bat. 269 now, 5 homers, 11 RBIs, and he's 0 for 1 today. Hit to right field for a base hit, and Haupt scooped that up, and they hold Bonds to a single. Good power and good speed for Bobby Bonds. We'll try to pick him off here, and no such luck, although that will slow him down. Pee Wee Reese at 361, 1 for 1 on the day, and he walks. And there's danger here for the Rockies as Barry Bonds steps to the plate. He is 0 for 1 today. But if you know his career, you know he could change things around early. I went to a game with the Rays and the Miami Marlins, and I saw Barry Bonds. I think he only lasted 1 year as the Marlins hitting coach, but you could see him walking around at Tropicana Field. Smoked to center, but it hanged up. It's off the wall. Runs are going to score here. It's going to be at least one. No chance to get Reese coming in from third. 2 runs score on the Barry Bonds double, and it is 2-0. So Bonds with a 2 RBI double. That brings up Willie Mays. 182, so you know he's due. Grounder to third, Castilla, Rosario, and that's the third out. So the Giants pick up 2 and will go to the bottom of the third. Colorado yet to have a base runner, but it's early. It's 2-0. Perry only needed 22 pitches to get out of trouble in the first 2 innings. Let's see what happens here. Rosario, by the way, came in at... Well, his batting average is now .059, but let me give you his totals. Counting the at-bat, he is 1 for 17. And he has had, let me see here, no homers, no RBIs. So Elston Howard in. Ellie is 314, 1 homer, 12 RBIs. And there goes whatever it was the Giants had going, because that was a base hit up the middle. I don't think I gave you the defensive alignment for the Giants, so let me get back up and do it now. Barry Bonds is a 7 and a 5 in left. Willie Mays is a 10 and a 10 in center. Can't do any better than that. Bobby Bonds is an 8 and an 8 in right. Davenport a 7 at third. Reese a 7 at third. Kent a 6 at second. McCovey a 6 at first. Tom Holler is a 6 and a 5 behind the dish, and the range on Perry is a 6. So we took care of that. A little late, but we took care of it nonetheless. Vinny Castilla, he on the year, 294, 3 homers and 9 RBIs. Ball 4, so Colorado has a threat going in their third. We go back to Eric Young, who is 0 for 1 on the day. And the batter, you hear the umpire rhapsodizing about the infield fly rule, as Howard Cosell once said to Bob Costas, and that's the second out. Nefi Perez, 250, no homers and a ribby. Ball 4, and the base is now loaded for Seth Smith. He is 0 for 1 today. Wicked ground ball to third, the throw to first. Did they get him? Yes, they did. Close play, but the runner was out. No runs for Colorado. They did have a little bit of a threat going. And at the end of 3, San Francisco 2, Colorado nothing. Willie McCovey back up. He is 0 for 1 on the day. A foul tip. You hear the umpire. Full count pitch. He struck out, and that's 1 gone. Jeff Kent 0 for 1. And that's strikeout number 2. Can Radbourne punch out the side? Here's Dietz. 0 for 1, base hit to center. In fact, that's going to be a double as Dietz hustled into second base and perhaps caught the Rockies being a bit lackadaisical. So with that, you got Jim Davenport, who's 0 for 1. Young to Rosario, and that's the third out. 3.5 gone by. Giants 2, Rockies nothing. Johnny Frederick, who used to play for the Brooklyn Dodgers, 0 for 1 today. A grounder to Kent, got to it, and the throw to McCovey is in time for the first out. Carlos Lee, who is 0 for 1. Skies at the center. Mays, with that incredible range, makes the put out. You're going to have to get up early in the morning to beat these 3 guys in the outfield on anything hit in the air. 2 outs now for Brad Haupt, who is 0 for 1. And it hits him. And we've had an ejection. And we have had an ejection here. And we will see what has happened. Happ isn't pleased with that one. Haller is holding him back, and Tom Haller was ejected from the game. So there you go, folks. We had a little bit of a confrontation at home plate, and it was Haller who has been excused. So coming in to catch is going to be Rich Aurelia. Here's the thing. San Francisco, if we look at their roster, they did not want to use Dick Dietz and lose their DH, so they're going to have Rich Aurelia, who is a 0 and a 0 behind the plate. Oh my goodness. Now this is what happens when you use your catcher as your DH. If you bring him in, then you lose your DH. So they're going to really get wrecked on the bases. Now Halp is 96% to steal, so I'm going to take it. And that's stolen base number 1. He has a 57% chance at stealing third. I don't want to make the third out at third base, so we're just going to have Rosario go here. And that's a base hit. Hop's going to come in to score, and it's 2-1. So that's a revolting development for the Giants. They did not want to use their... if I was controlling San Francisco and not Colorado, I would bring Dietz in and have my pitcher hit and have guys pinch hit for him all the way down the line. But that did not happen. Rosario is a 94% chance of the steal. I gotta send him. He's safe. I gotta send him until Aurelio can get somebody out. So Howard is 1 for 1. The pitch to him. Sky to first base. McCovey giving it chase. It might be foul, and it is. So Howard gets to swing again with a 1-1 count. Grounder, a base hit to right. I will send Rosario here, and he scores, and we're tied at 2-2. Everybody's going to have good chances at stealing because of Aurelia being the catcher. So we'll send Howard. And that was a strike. 95% chance to steal, so go for it. He's in there. A stolen base. Castilla did not have an at-bat his last time up because he walked in the third. And we're now in the fourth. The pitch. Up the middle, Perry stabs it, goes to McCovey, and that's the second out. So Aurelia now comes to the plate as a catcher. He's 4 for 11, no homers and a ribby. He's hitting .364. The pitch to him. Now, I want to check on Aurelia. Has he caught before in this season? Look at the game logs. The game logs don't tell you how was he where was he fielding. He has played 4 games at third. Okay, so this is the first time he has caught. So with 1 out, here's Bobby Bonds again, 1 for 2. That's a strikeout, number 3 for Radbourn, giving him 18 on the year. Pee Wee Reese is 1 for 1. Grounder, Perez to Rosario is safe at first. So a 2-out rally perhaps coming here for the Giants. Barry Bonds is 1 for 2, has 2 RBIs thanks to that double he got in an earlier inning. Skied the right, Hop makes the grab for the third out. Halfway home, it is 2-2. They're looking bunt on Ernie Young, so we'll swing away. McCovey hustles to the bag for the first out. So anytime Colorado gets somebody on base, it's going to be tough sledding for them with Aurelia back there. With that 0 range and a 0 arm. Nefi Perez is 0 for 1 today. Bottom of the 5th. Grounder to short over the first, second out. That brings up Smith, 0 for 2. Ball 4 for Seth Smith. And anybody who gets on base is going to have Ricky Henderson like stealing ratings here. And we're going to send Seth Smith, but we can't because that was a ball. We'll send him again. And that's an error. And Smith winds up at third base. That went into center field. And Smith was able to get to third. Johnny Frederick up, who is 0 for 2 today. 2 outs for Colorado. And that's a base hit, and Colorado leads 3-2 as that it was hit to Berry and left. Carlos Lee is 0 for 2. Again, 96% odds to steal a base. I'll take it. And Frederick goes to second without a throw. We'll take. And it's a 50-50 shot of him stealing third, but we're not going to take it. Lee, 0 for 2, hits this to right. Bonds underneath it. Third out. So Colorado has taken the lead due to some nifty base running. And it's 3-2 going into the sixth. Radbourn is at 92 pitches. Perry now at 78 as we enter the sixth inning. Mays 0 for 2. Hit the center and hit well. Frederick at the warning track, first out. McCovey 0 for 2 on the day, hitting .228 now. He strikes out, K number 4 for the old hoss. Jeff Kent 0 for 2. Skies this to left. Lee with the putout. Side retired for San Francisco in inning number 6. Bottom of the sixth now, 3-2. Here's Hop, who is 0 for 1. And McCovey with the putout unassisted, 1 gone. Rosario is 1 for 2. Skied to left center. Bonds will watch it go, a home run. And Colorado extends their lead to 4-2 on that ding-dong by Rosario. With the fireworks going off. Perry now at 84 pitches. He works Elston Howard, who is 2 for 2 today. That's ball 4. And again, you could steal at will on Aurelia. And that's what he's going to do. Now strike. Try it again. A good jump and an error. Another error for Aurelia. His second of the game. In fact, I think it's his second in back-to-back innings. Castilla 0 for 1. Sharply hit the left, but right to Bonds. Got a good chance of scoring here, so we'll take it. And he's safe. Howard scores, and it is 5-2. So after a 2-0 lead for San Francisco, Colorado has come back. 2 in the first, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, now 2 in the sixth. Eric Young is 0 for 3. McCovey, Perry at first base before the putout. So Colorado picking up another deuce, and it's 5-2 as we head to the seventh. Dick Dietz is 1 for 2. Hit to left, a base hit. So Dietz aboard. Very curious decision by the management of San Francisco not to put him in at catcher to replace the ejected Haller and have your pitcher would be hitting, yes, but you have plenty, with a 29-man roster, you have plenty of pinch hitters available that could get you through the game. Davenport is 0 for 2. Grounder to second, over the shortstop for 1, over to first, a double play, 4-6-3. And that gets us to 2 outs. Rich Aurelia, who we were just talking about, 0 for 1. Up the middle, a base hit. So we go back to the top of the order, and Bobby Bonds, who is 1 for 3. He strikes out. Stretch. Dun, 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 dun. And here we go, folks. Bottom of the seventh inning. It is 5 for Colorado and 2 for the Giants. Nefi Perez steps in. He is 0 for 2. Gaylord Perry still throwing the pellets. He is walked 4 today and struck out 2. Grounder to second, over to first for the first out. That brings up Seth Smith, who is 0 for 2 today. Base hit to right center. He's aboard. And everybody's going to have the green light to run on Rich Aurelia, like right now. Until he gets an out. Until he gets a caught stealing, I'm just going to run. We'll put the hit and run on with Johnny Frederick at the plate, 1 for 3. To third, over to first. Out is the call, but Smith successfully advances to third base. We've got Carlos Lee, who is 0 for 3. That's a base hit and a 6-2 game. Lee aboard with a single. Still a one-swing game, so I'm going to keep stealing. And Hoff gets that unassisted. Unchallenged, I should say. Brad Haupt is 0 for 2. Grounder to McCovey. Perry had to go cover first. He does. So it's been 2-1, 2-1 the last 4 innings for Colorado. After 7, it's 6-2. Radbourn seemingly strong at 119 pitches. He's pitched 7. He could probably go another inning, but I'm going to check on the bullpen just in case. Fuentes would be the stopper for Colorado. Reese, 2 for 2 on the day. Skied to the first base line. It is Young giving chase, and he's got it. 1 out. Barry Bonds, who has the only 2 runs driven in by the Giants so far on this one, he is 1 for 3. Ball 4, he's aboard. Mays 0 for 3. Let's see if Say Hey can get something going here. Skied to right and off the wall. Bonds is going to score. Mays is going to wind up at third with a triple, and we have a 6-3 game. McCovey is 0 for 3. See what happens here. That's a strikeout, number 6 for Radbourn. Bringing up Jeff Kent, who is 0 for 3. Hit the center. Frederick coming in, charging, makes the play. A super play, a great play. So San Francisco, out of the 8th, with only scoring 1 run, will go to the bottom of the 8th. It scores 6-3. Rosario is 2 for 3 going into this at bat, and Perry is at 106. He should be able to go a complete game here. Right to Davenport for the first out. Elston Howard is 2 for 2. Skied to left, and he got enough of it for a home run. Elston Howard rounds the bases. It's 7-3. That brings up Vinny Castilla, 0 for 1 today. They keep Perry in there. That's hit well to left. And a foul ball. Had home run distance, but just foul by a little itty-bitty bit. Castilla is 0 for 1. Strike 3. Eric Young is 0 for 4. Base hit to center. Young's a base stealer. You'd think he would be a mortal lock to steal a base here. Let's try it. And that's another throw. Unchallenged. We'll take here. And only boosts him to 44. Perez is 0 for 3. Foul tip, and the count now 0-2 with 2 outs. And that's a passed ball, they rule. I always got to wait for a moment to see whether or not it was a passed ball or a wild pitch. So Young moves to third. Count is now 1-2. Perez up the middle. Great play by Kent. Throws to McCovey, and that's the side retired for Colorado in the eighth. Radboard may be tired, I am seeing, so we'll bring in Fuentes, and he will try to close the deal. We got a pretty got a big bullpen out there, but we'll give Fuentes the shot. See if he can get it done here with a three-run lead. Fuentes comes in 0-2 with a save. His ERA is 12. 3 innings pitched, three hits, a homer, and 2 walks, 2 Ks. Opponent's hitting 231 off of him coming into this particular appearance. Dick Dietz, 2 for 3. Hit to left. Lee, back, and gone. A home run for Dick Dietz. And we have a 6-4 game. 7-4 game, I beg your pardon, because Colorado did get a run off the Elston Howard home run in the 8th. So I shouldn't have brought Fuentes in, but oh well. Davenport is 0 for 3. Young with the stab over at second. He throws the first to get the out. And there is now 1 out. Colorado ahead by 3. Aurelia 1 for 2. He skies this to right. And that too is gone. A home run for Aurelia. And it's 7-5. The Denver faithful getting nervous as Bobby Bonds steps in. We know he can mash. 273, 5 homers, 11 RBIs, 1 for 4 today. That's a strike. Out. Number 1 for Fuentes. And now it's down to Pee Wee Reese, who is 2 for 3. Ball 4. So, Barry Bonds can save the game for San Francisco. 1 for 3 on the day. He gets on board. Fuentes is tired. We're sticking with him. Here's Willie Mays, 1 for 4. Grounder to third, over to first, and that's the game. Colorado wins 7-5. I should not have kept Fuentes in that long, but we got the job done. The Rockies win 7-5. Pretty good game, no? 7-9-0 for Colorado, 5-10-2 for the Giants. Perry went the distance, lost 1-3 on the year. Radbourn got the win, 2-1. Fuentes pitched the 9th inning, but does not get credit for anything because I brought him in with a 4-run lead. MVP was Elston Howard. And how many stolen bases did Colorado have in this game? Probably a bunch. I gotta wait for the game to log in the results, and I'll bring up the box score again. Is the box score up, I wonder? Here it comes, I think. No, seriously, how many stolen bases did Colorado have in the game? We can look it up. We can look it up. Okay, they had, are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stolen bases in this game. So that was not a good start. That was not a good appearance behind the plate for Rich Aurelia, but he's not supposed to be used in that fashion. So that's been it for this game, or this will be it for this game. We will be back with you with another game. Probably look at a team in the AL Midwest, which will either be Kansas City, St. Louis, Minnesota, or Houston. And I think we have featured them all at one point or another this season already. So it might be Kansas City that we look at in our next episode. This has been Big Paulie coming to you, wishing you well. Godspeed, God bless, go Bolts, and go Bucks, and go Rays. Sorry, I'm in Tampa. I just got to get that in. Peace be with you all, and we'll do it again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.